TNA lockdown maybe still a few weeks away, but tonight we're going to get a little bit of a taster, a tasteful of steel, as Team 3D take on Team Canada. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your TNA review for March 25th, 2006. We're on the road to lockdown. We're not quite there yet, but we've got a mini taste, or a mini tester of lockdown tonight.
You cannot beat 6 sides of steel and a bloody shitty stained ring in the impact zone. Can you not? No.
But before we get into the show, there was an explosion match that featured Hot Stuff Hernandez. He teamed up with Homicide, so I can only assume this is the actual Hernandez, Big Hernandez, who will be part of LAX soon. Although they lost to Chris Sabin and Jay Lethal, so not a good beginning. Don't even know if Explosion was aired back then. Hopefully not, because, yeah, just shouldn't really be losing to those guys. But let's move into the actual show then. We begin with Mike Tenay and Samoa Joe. Mike Tenay says that Larry Zbyszko has ruled out that Samoa Joe would get an X Division match at Lockdown. He ain't getting his match, but instead he's getting somebody else. And Mike Tenay, after being threatened and grabbed by Samoa Joe, announces the new opponent for Samoa Joe, and it's none other than Sabu. I'm not complaining about Sabu versus Samoa Joe, but it is a weird way to announce it. Samoa Joe and Sabu happening at Lockdown with no reason for it really to be happening.
Yeah, it's a weird build, but I mean, when was the last time you seen Sabu? I'm pretty sure he was slicing himself up in a barbed wire match. I'm a big fan of Sabu. Joe, though, he's pretty much just squished Daniels and Styles for the past few months, so why not squish another Diddy, man?
Well, you say he squished him. I mean, he's not the champion, so he didn't do a good job, did he?
No, he
Destination
didn't.
X.
But, I mean, Christopher Daniels has been Samoa Joe's little bitch. I mean, pretty much all that blood on it is Christopher Daniels. That manky toilet this fat bastard carried around for months. What was that all about?
Anyway, basically saying here, Joe, you're too good for the X Division. It's time to move up.
It's time to move up, buddy.
By taking on another small guy who could be in the X Division. But anyway, we get an interview with Jeremy Bonash and Team 3D talking about their 6 sides of steel match tonight. They're going to make Team Canada taste their own blood inside the steel. So, aye, we'll see what happens tonight. That's the main event, though. Up next, Sonjay Dutt and Chris Sabin taking on, with Jay Lethal, taking on Simon Diamond, Alex Skipper, and David Young, the Diamonds in the rough. I wouldn't exactly describe any of these guys as Diamonds, even if Simon Diamond is literally called Diamond. It's a win for Dutt, Sabin, and Jay Lethal. Sabin and Jay Lethal get their second win of the night if you include their explosion match.
Jay Lethal picked up an injury of some kind. Did not look good. Not quite sure what he did, but it looked like his leg went.
Yeah, he went for like a cross-body springboard and just didn't really connect with anybody or land properly. It was just a bit of a mess, to be honest. We then got an interview with Borash and Team Canada, talking about the 6-sided steel match. Scott D'Amore complained that Larry Zbyszko is booking them in a 6-sided steel match for ratings and not thinking about their health. No shit. Mark Johnson came in and asked if he could referee the cage match, but it turns out that Rudy Charles is the referee, and he's a senior referee, so they don't need Mark Johnson tonight. They need Rudy Charles.
Mark Johnson said something like he's refereed 184 title matches. That's a lot of fucking title matches.
Could be backyard title matches.
It could be backyard title matches, but I think Larry Zbyszko was a wee bit overacting here.
Yeah, they called him Chrome Dome, and then Mark Johnson says, you know, you better watch yourself. There's not much left on top, and Zbyszko started panicking. I thought it was a funny wee interview.
It was.
Fucking Mark Johnson's better than anybody in wrestling today.
Yeah, you've got Chromosome and Chromodome.
God damn it. We then had a sit-down interview with Steve Borden, talking about him coming back at Final Resolution, getting taken out by Steiner. Says that Jeff Jarrett is a cancer and he's spreading across TNA and needs to be removed. Sting said he's asked for one special match, remembering War Games in the past, and he says that's what he wants. So that kind of tells me we might be getting Sting versus Jeff Jarrett's team, potentially at Lockdown, maybe a Lethal Lockdown. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll sign up for that. I loved Lethal Lockdown back in the day.
Better than War Games, I think.
War Games was a mess, man. And the current version of WWE is a mess. I mean, I think in WCW, most of the time it was a bunch of slow guys, not that the guys that are now in TNA are much faster about a decade later. But yeah, Sting, I like this. I mean, I like the fact that it's Steve Borden these days and not so much Sting. Maybe
Trust,
a bit less so, but
trust me, it'll be Sting at lockdown. But you know what really bothers me? See the amount of people that actually think that War Games is better than a Survivor Series match, traditional 5-on-5. You've got to be shitting me. I think War Games is fine as a one-off if you have like this big, massive rivalry. But see, for me, see the last couple of years in WWE, the War Games matches have been fucking boring. There's no jeopardy. They come in, the match can't finish until everyone's in the ring. It's the same shit. The team will have a man advantage, then the other team will come out and they'll equal it up, then the other team will come out and they'll have the advantage again. Nothing really happens until the end where everybody's in. And it doesn't matter what happens during the match. At the end, everybody's back up. All 10 guys are fighting. It's not like someone gets taken out and that's them out for the match. The Survivor Series is a lot better. You can tell a lot more stories. There's a lot more psychology in the match. You can get all these different dynamics. You can get it going pretty even. You can get one team dominating 5-0. You could get one team up 5-1 and have an epic comeback. There's just so much more, in my opinion, you can do with the Survivor Series matches. Again, War Games, I think, is good for a one-off match, but I hate the way it's replaced Survivor Series elimination matches in WWE.
I agree. I think Lethal Lockdown's better than War Games, though. It's the exact same formula, but I think there's just something cool about when the final guy enters and the music starts playing, the fucking weapons lower, and they all start bleeding and blood and all that shit.
No, it is good. I kind of wish it was elimination, though.
No, me too.
Personally, I think that would make both Lethal Lockdown and War Games a lot better.
No, I agree.
I think elimination would add so much more to it.
I think in the original WCW...
No, just could you imagine imagine a Royal Rumble where nobody could be eliminated until the 30th man came out?
No, I know.
Would that work?
No, it wouldn't work, but why I think in the original War Games they didn't do that is because there was just far too many egos in WCW.
It would require a lot of pinfalls.
Like, I mean...
Whereas this was a way of having a lot of people in the match, but protecting everybody but one.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of War Games, like, exact matches, but, I mean, I've seen ones where, like, you know, not the Legion of Doom, that Kevin Sullivan's group, they were filled with jobbers, to be fair, so I guess any of them could have got pinned, but you've got, like, the Horsemen, and you've got, like, Wolfpack NW, you've got NW, then you've got, like, a team that would consist of, like, the baby faces, like Luger, Sting, etc. It's like, who's going to get pinned out of that? But then, like, the jobber ends up getting... But there was also weird matches in WCW. See, 95 WCW, you've got, like, a jungle gym sort of cage setup where they had to climb through, like, 3 layers. Fucking mess.
It's a mess. Anyway, up next, we have the Naturals in a match, but we don't find out who their opponents are because Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett come out and absolutely annihilate them. One of the Naturals, I think it was Andy Douglas, he gets absolutely battered by Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner lays him out with a chair. Headshots galore, damn near kills the kid, and he gets taken out of the impact zone on a stretcher. Jeff Jarrett complained about the Sting interview, and he told Mike Tenay that he will accept the challenge and he's going to get rid of Sting once and for all. So, yeah, Naturals here getting absolutely battered. Who knows when we'll see them again? That could be them gone for all we know.
It could be them gone. You know what? I think it's time for them to go. We're beginning to bring in the real McCoy.
Yeah. The Naturals, I think, since we started watching, they've done a decent wee job here, but you got a feeling with the Dudleys now, and you got LAX coming soon, and AJ and Daniels are a tag team, soon to be, and you're going to have all these, you got Team Canada. Yeah, I just think there's probably more. The Steiner brothers can't be far away from reuniting.
I just think at this point in TNA, it's almost like it's a transitional period. You're bringing in the Dudleys, Christian, Kurt Angle's coming in. You're going to get Booker T, Main Event Mafia, a lot more other people. Like you've got Jeff Hardy that'll be in a few years, like Rob Van Dam.
Like a lot of the guys that
helped build T are just not needed.
Yeah, a lot of the guys that have been getting on TNA Impact for the past year and a bit, and they maybe took it for granted. Over the next year, their opportunities are going to fade away.
Yes.
Because you cannot...
explosion or bust.
Yeah, you cannot really bring in Kurt Angle and all these other big guys, all these top stars, and then still expect that people like the Naturals are going to get, the same amount of time that they used to. So, but that's evolution. That's TNA evolving. That's kind of how it works. When more stars come in. I mean, we've seen that work in AEW, but I would say it's kind of worked a bit negatively in AEW. But that happens in wrestling. When a company keeps bringing guys from the outside in, You know, the current people on the roster tend to get pushed down the card, and if you're at the top of the card, then you can get pushed down to the upper mid, lower mid. But if you're already at the lower mid, or if you're already in the opening match, you're getting pushed off the show.
No, absolutely, and here it has to happen, right? The naturals are they're jobbers. They played their part. Thank you. You can't contend. They're guys that don't have 15 years in a business.
Yeah, they had some good tag team matches, so I mean, they're alright, but yeah, for me, yeah, Naturals, goodbye. Interview then with Jeremy Borash and Conan and Homicide. Conan talked about Machete, saying that he wasn't up to it and he got taken out.
He's a gringo, is he?
Conan said that he's not some little office boy. He wasn't going to fire Machete. He took him out the way to take him on the street. So they got rid of him, kicked his ass. James Gang showed up, and then Conan kind of backed off a little bit from Bullet Bob Armstrong. I mean,
sitting in the weirdest, like, nonsense attire of all. Hey boys, I'm in my white fist here.
It's like 1 minute you've got Conan talking about taking people off the streets and getting rid of them, and then the next minute he's like kind of fearing 90-year-old Bullet Bob Armstrong. A little bit strange.
No, I don't get about Bullet Bob Armstrong, right? This guy had no stature in the business. He looks like an old man. See when Hogan comes out, even at 70,
he looks like he'd kill you.
Yeah.
Rip you apart.
And there is a key difference there. Like, there is. I don't care what people say. And it's the name as well. Like, what is Conan fearing?
Not too sure, but I tell you what, Conan's good in the mic. I like Conan.
Jobbed at the COVID, though.
Maybe he was never that great in the ring, but I tell you what, definitely good on the mic.
You know, I think Conan's one of the worst workers of all time. See, considering how much like prominent roles he got in.
Yeah, I mean, he was a shit worker, but here, I mean, he's a pretty good talker, so that it makes up for it. Good wee segment, though, good wee interview. Looking forward to seeing LAX fully take off.
No,
right?
Honestly, see Conan, I mean, I would say in comparison, he's honestly like a Kelly in his division. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I watched a lot of WCW, and the guy was fucking rank.
Alright.
I'm not saying he's as bad as Kelly, but I'm saying in comparison to men, he is like that far off. Like, he was in the mid card with like Benoit, Guerrero, and Jericho, and I've never seen a guy stick out more.
Well, hold on, you could argue a lot of people would maybe stick out against those three.
Aye, but I mean, there was other people. Glacier. He was making Glacier look like Shawn Michaels.
Is Homicide the best Latino talker of all time?
Homicide?
No, sorry. God damn it.
Might be the best Latino crime statistic of all time, Homicide.
Conan, is Conan the best talker of all time?
Yeah.
From a Latin...
Yeah, I'd say easy, yeah.
Is better than Eddie Guerrero?
Aye. Yeah.
I'd say... I know that's probably unpopular, but I would say Conan's a better talker than Eddie Guerrero.
Yes. Guerrero can probably do comedy better, but in terms of, like, serious... I never took Guerrero serious, man. Even when he was serious, he just... Comedic undertones. See when Conan's talking about the streets, and he's like, oh this.
You believe him?
Nah, I fucking believe he's on the streets.
Yeah, so, anyway, let's move on. 6 Sides of Steel main event. Team 3D versus Team Canada. Decent wee match. Team 3D easily defeat Team Canada. But then, of course, America's Most Wanted and Abyss come down. They attack the Dudleys, and then they lock the cage from the outside and allow Team Canada to get the beat down. They stop all the indie bums or the X Division guys from getting in to help the Dudleys. Bit strange that America's Most Wanted came out and then didn't take part in the beatdown. They kind of just stood outside like, you know, fucking security guards stopping people from helping the Dudleys. But, I mean, whatever. And we then end at the show with Fowler, James Mitchell and Alex Shelley stalking Christian Cage's wife with a video camera. I think the Alex Shelley video camera stuff's been some of the best things that we've seen, the best stuff we've seen going on in TNA over the past months, and yeah, this was pretty cool.
This was cool, but you've got her shopping, and then you've got Father James Mitchell in the same aisle, walking around in his attire with his stick, trying to act all normal and natural. It's like, no, there's nothing normal about this. Like the Undertaker stopping someone in the full Dead Man kit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit strange, but you know what? I mean, I thought this was a decent edition of TNA, to be honest. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Yes. 6 out of 10 for me as well. Scott Steiner, I'm so looking forward to this run.
Yeah,
give him the mic, and I'll be giving 10s.
Yeah, looking forward to Scott Steiner. There wasn't that many matches on the show, but here, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think only 2 matches, actually. But here, it was a show full of good segments and good promos. So
yeah, I like segments.
Me
Give
too.
me segments over matches every day of the week, especially when you've got a big ass match.
Yeah, big main
cage.
event. But no, the interviews for me were all pretty good as well. The beatdown for Scott Steiner on the Naturals was good as well. And yeah, enjoyed this episode of TNA, guys. 6 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.